Hi, my name is Michelle Hua, and I'm the UK Global Talent Visa Endorsement Coach. And I'd like to share with you my top 10 tips for the endorsement for the Tech Nation visa. Top tip number one, awards. Now, under the new leadership criteria, there is an opportunity for you to show any examples of awards that you may have won in the last 5 years. Now, these awards need to be awards for you, either any leadership awards or any awards that you have won as a result of developing any products, as a result of you being a leader in your field, and it needs to have your name. So industry awards are extremely well received. However, if it's an internal company award, these aren't seen as favorably. So do not submit any awards that you received within the company. Try to look at outside of your company and enter any industry type awards for any products or projects that you've been involved in, and any leadership type awards, because these will hold more weight for you to fulfill the leadership criteria. Have a look at any awards that are going on in your own country. I've entered a number of awards in the UK, any startup awards, I've entered leadership awards, and award season is pretty hot in the UK around April to October. So just have a look and apply and nominate yourself. You can also be shortlisted for certain awards, and that holds weight as well. You don't have to actually win. If you're shortlisted as a finalist, that is a big accolade. Have a look at how many people entered the awards and how many were shortlisted, because if there were over 1,000 people who entered the awards and only 10 were shortlisted, that's a pretty good chance there, and it's a very high accolade for you even to get nominated and shortlisted. And if you've won, even better. But don't be discouraged that if you're only shortlisted or if you're only a finalist or a runner-up, that's still a high accolade, and you can include that in your examples for leadership. Top tip number 2, please have a look at your LinkedIn profile and try to update that as best you can before you submit, because the assessors will look at your LinkedIn profile, although they may do a bit of a Google search on you. So please do update your LinkedIn profile as much as you can. There's lots of ways that you can include, any projects that you've been involved in. If you have any URL links, put that in the relevant roles and positions. Any articles you've written that you can showcase in the URLs under LinkedIn profile, put that in. Have a nice photo of yourself, update your banner if you want to. So try to update your LinkedIn profile before you submit. What I tend to tell my clients is do your CV first and then copy and paste your CV into your LinkedIn profile. Top tip number 3, appeals. Now, if you are unsuccessful, you do have an opportunity to appeal your decision. And please do try and think about this a little bit carefully, because appeals can be disappointing. Obviously, if you have an unsuccessful result, it is very disappointing. However, you already have feedback from one assessor. You can appeal the decision, and if you are unsuccessful, unfortunately, again, you have feedback from a second assessor to then potentially resubmit if you feel like there are gaps which you can fill if you resubmit another application. So that's 2 pieces of feedback that you can get. Another thing with appeal is you just need to ensure that the assessor has made a mistake in your application, and sometimes that does happen. So it is up to you to convince the new assessor that the first assessor made a mistake and pinpoint the new assessor to where the assessor made the mistake. Okay, so there is an opportunity for you to restate your case and to emphasize certain points that maybe the first assessor may not have appreciated. So have a think about your strategy for appeals. Top tip number 4, pick your experts carefully. Now, the experts must write, or there must be 3 experts who must write 3 letters of recommendation for you, and you need to pick them from 3 different organizations who can speak about 3 different perspectives about you. So have a think about your experts now and think about what they can say about you. If there are 2 experts that are going to say the exact same thing about you, try and find different things that the second expert can say things about you, so that the assessor is not reading the same thing over and over again. And this is why they want experts from 3 different organizations, from 3 different perspectives. If these experts aren't really appropriate to be your experts, you can ask them to write letters of support to help you fulfill the criteria instead. Now, the difference between experts and people who support you is that the people who support you only need to fulfill the criteria that you select them to help you meet. So for example, if you select the significant impact criteria, you just need to ensure that the person supporting you needs to fulfill the impact section. As opposed to an expert, they need to say all sorts of things about you, including they need to establish their credibility as an expert. They need to be senior in their field. They need to explain all your different achievements, maybe your leadership, your innovation, your impact, what your future plans in the UK are, and how you made significant impact to the UK digital tech sector. So experts write a lot more in their letters, as opposed to your support people only really look at the specific criteria that you've chosen, and they just need to help you fulfill that criteria. So that's why just pick your experts very carefully, and if they don't fit under the expert criteria, then ask them to potentially be your support people instead. Top tip 5, your network is your net worth. And coming from the previous top tip number 4 about your experts, this is why your network is your net worth. Your experts may not be appropriate experts, so they may be support people. And this is why you need to have a look at your whole network to see which one are suitable for you to help you be endorsed. So are they appropriate experts, or are they appropriate support people? So have a really good list, and this is why your network is so important. You might need to rack your brains, and this is what I do with all my clients, is help them really think about who they have met along their way throughout their whole career. Even mentors, can be your experts or support people. So this is why your network is so important, and it's so important to continually build your network over the course of your tech career, because different people help you at different stages of your career, and they help you for different things. I have a mentor for my business. I have a mentor for my startup. I have a mentor about, life in general. So there are different people who support you at different stages in your life and your career. Top tip number 6, content is king, structure is queen. Now, I've read so many applications in the 4 years that I've been doing this. And while content is really important, and content obviously is about, your achievements, your accolades, what you've done in the digital tech sector, but how you structure it is really important. This is because you need to submit 15 documents, 3 pages each. That means there's 45 pages that someone, the assessor, has to filter through and read. And if it's not structured in the most visually appealing way, then the assessor may be bored. They may not understand what you're trying to get at if things are all over the place. So you need to make sure it's structured in a way that's easy to read, easy to understand, it's clear, it's concise, and it fulfills the criteria. I've read so many applications where the content is there, but the structure is not there. So it took me a lot longer to filter through all the information to understand where the applicant is coming from. So just be really mindful that, yes, while content is king, structure is queen. Top tip number 7, Ensure all your documents fulfill the criteria. Now, this is an exercise that I go through at the end when I help all my clients. Is I pick up one piece of document and I put it next to their criteria, and I make sure that that document fulfills that criteria. If it's leadership, does that document show your leadership? If it's proof of recognition for work outside of your immediate occupation that advances the digital tech sector, does that document show that it's proof of recognition for work outside of your immediate occupation? And then does that document show that you have advanced the digital tech sector? So just really ask those questions in each document. Does that document show that you provide significant impact to the product-led digital technology company? Does that document show that you have provided academic contributions on a digital field or concept? So just at every stage, each document needs to fulfill that particular criteria. Top tip number 8, your personal statement is very much like your professional statement. So talk about more as to why you should be in the UK, why your achievements have made you suitable for someone who is an exceptionally talented or exceptionally promised person to receive this visa, so you can add even more value to the UK tech sector. So focus on your achievements, your accolades, your impact, your leadership. So yes, it would be great that you will bring your family and yourself over to the UK, and it's got some great schools. Yes, everyone knows that, the assessor knows that, but what makes you so special that you must get this visa, you must be endorsed with exceptional talent and promise in order to apply for the visa, and you can add value to the digital technology sector. And this is a special tech visa, so focus on your professional achievements, your accolades, your impact, your leadership skills in the digital tech sector. Top tip number 9, proofread and sense check before you submit. I've had so many times when applications have been submitted and then it's, I forgot to do something. So yes, you can get someone to proofread and sense check. However, my biggest tip is that get an expert who understands this particular process. You can always get your mom or your sister or your friend or your boss to read it, but they don't understand the criteria as much as an expert like myself, who understands all the criteria and makes sure that you hit the criteria. The thing that your mother, brother, sister, manager can check is your grammar, because they don't understand the whole process about this global talent visa endorsement stage. So just make sure that you find someone, if you are unsure, is to get someone to proofread and sense check before you submit, and get an expert to ensure you fulfill the criteria before you submit. Now, if you don't do this and you think, that's fine, I'm going to submit anyway, you may get an unsuccessful result, which means you may need to appeal and spend, a bit more time to appeal. And then hopefully to get the decision reversed, you don't know. Why would you put yourself through that stress? If you're going to do it right, try and do it right the first time, because time, stress, trying to get this done, it's quite a stressful process. And, that's what happened to me. So just make sure that you give yourself the best chance possible. Otherwise, the alternative is redoing it again. And it's up to you if you want to spend that time to redo it again, or you want to take the risk and do it and see what happens. But try to get someone to help you before you submit. Finally, top tip number 10, check your eligibility requirements as well. And in the Tech Nation guidelines, it talks about, if you've got a business skill or a technical skill, you can apply. However, the biggest eligibility requirements are those who are consultants, who are outsourcers, who work for agencies or for companies that have clients, in that they develop products for clients for them to then sell to their customers. And that's the biggest eligibility check there. So just ensure that you work for a product-led digital technology company, and there is a definition in the new guidelines now, because you have to meet that in order to then go to the next step and go through each of the criteria and the category in which you're going to apply for the endorsement. So top tip number 10 is just make sure you are eligible. I can help with your eligibility requirements. On my website at www.michellehua.co.uk, I offer complimentary 15-minute discovery calls to help you with your eligibility criteria before you move on to the next stage. So definitely ask me, have a look at my website, email me, and I can certainly help you there. My name is Michelle Hua. These are my top 10 tips, and thank you for watching, and stay tuned for my other videos that I will upload, my FAQs, my top 10 tips, my inspirational webinars and educational webinars, and my resources on my website will definitely help you get through this process for the Global Talent Visa endorsement. Thank you. Bye.